Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Shay Prophet, and I'm finally fucking back. I know I've been gone for, it seems like fucking forever, because I've been sick. That is the good reason of, well, I can't say good reason, but that is my explanation of being gone for so long. I have Hashimoto's. I think it's the same thing that Oprah says she has. I think she's the famous celebrity that has it. Yeah. And so for me, my symptoms was causing me to be hoarse. So I can't really do a YouTube channel if I have no voice. So I'm back. I'm feeling much better. And today we're going to be doing the NCO. I think his name is Jonathan Penland. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And if you don't know who he is the NCO, also known as a staff sergeant in the Army, who pushed the young man in the neighborhood. He was saying that he looks like he doesn't belong there. He knows everybody in the community. They are a tight-knit community. Well, one may ask, why am I doing a video on this? One, because it has to do with Army stuff, and I saw nothing. And when I say nothing, I mean nothing out there where people who used to be in the military is giving their explanations and saying what this means for that staff sergeant. I'm here for it. And I'm also going to give my impression of what's going to happen to him later on. And I'm also going to do Nicki Minaj. Oh yeah, I totally forgot that. I've been saying for months I'm going to do Nicki Minaj. So let's just go ahead and do Nicki Minaj first, and then we're going to get back to this non-commissioned officer. So for Nicki Minaj, I don't want to kick her when she's down. She recently lost her father. Her brother's in jail. Her husband's coming up on charges. So karma is coming back to her. The chicken coming home to roost, as the old saying goes. Everything that she did, good and bad, is coming back to her. Karma has a way of finding its way to come back. So when people say, oh, I need to do this to get back at people, you don't need to do none of that. Karma gonna get them. And karma may not be on your time, but karma's always on the right time. And so it's coming back for her. I don't feel like she, in the family life, is not gonna be great. You can sell 1 million records, you can go triple platinum, but that don't make you happy. She got all this money in the world and she picks a loser. So clearly she's not happy somewhere along the line. Her father passed, her brother's in jail, and she just has her mom. And I don't think they really get along for real, from my impression that I'm getting. So yeah, that's my covering of Nicki Minaj and her ex-husband. Well, since I said that, she must gonna be divorcing him soon or near down the road. Like, when I say stuff like that and it just pops out of my mouth, that means something like that is going to happen. I don't never say nothing by mistake. It's never a mistake that I said that out loud. So, I guess somewhere down the line, she's going to divorce him. I don't know for what. Maybe he put hands on her. I don't know. But that is my impression for Nicki Minaj. And I'm not pulling cards today because I'm just doing it a little bit different, and the content is different. And I don't have to pull to give impressions. So yeah, it just, and when I pull cards, it's just a better visual rather than me just speaking. So we're just going to be speaking today. We're going to do it a little bit different in 2021. Yeah, I know my first video in 2021 was the same, but we're going to do this video different. And I may probably go back to what I normally do. So now to Staff Sergeant Penland. So for him, I think TMZ reported that he was suspended. There's no suspensions in the military. Let's just go ahead and square that one real quick. Like, there's no suspensions. Now, for him, he's a non-commissioned officer. So things are done a little bit differently from non-commissioned officers, and you have officers. Officers are usually court-martialed, and NCOs can be court-martialed, but that's typically not what they do. So I don't know what the Justice Department is going to do because they're getting involved, and that typically never ever happens. Usually the military handles their own. So If somebody in the military fuck up, they don't do the Justice Department's gonna punish them or this, that. No, it doesn't work like that. It stays in-house. And I can just tell you right now, he's not gonna be in the military for too much longer. That's facts. Facts on facts on facts. And before he gets out, because it takes a while to, typically, now if they want to really push you out, they'll push you out fast, like in 90 days. But I think for him, they're going to strip his rank. They're not going to let him retire, even if he had 20 years, which he probably doesn't, because you can't be at E6 and have 20 years in. They just won't let that happen. You have to make rank, otherwise they'll put you out. So let's just say he hasn't been in for 20 years. Let's just say he's been in for like 14, 15 years. They're going to strip him of his non-commissioned officer rank, because that behavior to a civilian is not becoming of a non-commissioned officer. They have certain rules that they have to abide by. Now, if that young man was a soldier, that would have been a different story. But since he's not a soldier, what he did, those movements, those hand gestures, getting up in his face and yelling, those are things that are done in the military. Like, every day. You show up to formation, you show up late, you're going to get talked to like that. But the young man wasn't in the military, so, and he probably was drinking, because military people are known to drink. That's just something we do. It is like how we keep time. If it's a weekend, we're drinking. If they get off work, they drink typically. I'm not a heavy drinker. I've never been. I never liked beer. It just always tastes funny to me. So I never really been one of those people. But everybody else, they typically drink. That's just how it is in the military. We cuss a lot too. So that's why that man was cussing at him. That's just like, it just goes with the territory. When you're in the military, you just cuss. But he's no longer going to have soldiers. That I can promise you. There's no suspension. But they will take him and put him in like an administrative duty type of thing, because his behavior shows that he cannot be around soldiers. He cannot be around lower enlisted. He is a definition of what their young soldiers are trying to achieve. And so to put him in that position to train young soldiers, they would never do that. I mean, even all the eyes are on them. But let's just say if it didn't have a whole bunch of media attention and someone were to do something like this and it gets back to base, oh my God, like, woo! It's like, I'm trying to think of the severity of it. It's like, let's just say your mom and dad have to go to the principal's office, and when you get home, that ass is grass. Like, that's what it is. But his wife got him into a whole hell of a lot of issues, and typically that happens a lot. These military wives, they always bump their gums like they have that same power, and they always like, well, my husband's gonna do this, my husband's not gonna stand for that. And they typically get their husbands in trouble, whether that's in jail or they lose rank or they get kicked out of the military. It's a lot that military wives do to their husbands to get them in trouble. And then his kids now have to live with that, because the GI bills that he probably would have gotten, that's no more. They not gonna reward that man at all. I would be shocked if they let him even get VA benefits. Like, his behavior was egregious on so many different levels. Not because the young man was black. I don't know. I can't say he's racist. It's really hard to be racist in the military. I'm just keeping it real. Like, so I can't say that he was racist. What I can say was that behavior was unacceptable for a civilian. He was not in the military. He didn't, I mean, it's just, that's not something that we do. Lower enlisted, upper enlisted, that's just not one of those things. So, yeah. If I would say, my impression that I'm getting, I wouldn't be shocked if he were like to take his life in a couple years. Like, I'm just being honest, because he's going to lose everything. Like, you see them packing up their stuff and they're leaving at home. After he gets out, he gets done, like, he's done. Like, he's just done. And typically, people only stay on the trail, and a trail could be your drill sergeant or your recruiter. No longer than 3 years you're on the trail. And the reason why people go on these different trails of being a recruiter or a drill sergeant is so they can get promoted. He ain't never getting promoted. That I can promise you. Facts on facts on facts. not just giving my impression of, my gifts. It's just what I know to be facts of someone who used to be in the military. It's just like we have protocol, we have rules, and he violated those rules. Especially since he's a non-commissioned officer. Like, it's a standard. Like, they have a whole handbook that they go through. They go through leadership training. They go through a whole 9 yards. Like, to become an E6, you have to go through special training. To become an E5, you got to go through special training. And in order to become an E7, you got to go through special training. So, you have to do these special trainings before you can even get promoted. And then after you get promoted, you do special trainings again. So, all these leadership standards in those videos, like, you see that he's not upholding that standard. So they're never going to let him stay. That's all I got for this video. I don't know when I'm going to do another one. I think I might be doing Margarita Fridays. And like, it's like going to be a Ask Me Anything. But hold on. Don't take me saying that as gospel. Y'all have a good one. It's your girl Shay. Peace out.